Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Dream Life Loading podcast. I'm Skye.
I'm Susan. How are you today, Skye?
I'm hanging in there, Susan. I complained about the weather last week, so this week I will start by saying the weather is lovely, and I think I noticed that so much changes with the weather. Like my energy levels were down, my mood was down, so it's amazing that waking up to the sunshine, like the little changes, and yeah, I think it was perfect with our challenge. I think, well, this goes up Wednesday, so everyone will already have heard about the challenge by then. But with the challenge having started today, it was just perfect that the sun was shining and it all aligns. How are you?
I'm really good. I had a very busy weekend, but like in the best way possible. And I think we've really like settled into the house. I am just so happy. I think we had like a huge reset on life and everything. And it's just like, all right, we're in the groove now and we can just enjoy it. So I'm energized and ready for the week, which is a really refreshing feeling because like February and March were tough
Mhm.
and now we get to really enjoy it. So I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yeah, and April, like it's mid-May.
I know. April was tough, but a different type of tough
Mhm.
because we weren't in our space. Like we literally lived out of a suitcase because we just didn't want to move all of our stuff 4 times. So I had my clothes that literally fit in my laundry basket, and I had them like all stacked up and organized in these like travel containers that you use like if you go on a long trip. So I'm just so glad to have like it as like first world as it is to have my clothes back. I'm so excited to just have all of my things. Like
Mhm.
my hair is done every day, my makeup's done. I just feel fabulous and am ready
And
to
your space
take on the world.
makes such a big difference.
Yes, yeah, and we can just like relax. Not that we sit down very often anymore, because there's always something to be done, but it's just, it's so nice. Which honestly, this like fresh reset mindset goes right into what we're talking about today, which is all things spring. Let's get into it.
I think the idea obviously came from our spring into summer challenge that started this goes up Wednesday, so it started 2 days ago. So if you haven't started yet, it's very easy to go jump in and catch up on the first 2 days. But basically, the idea behind this challenge was just to spend the next 31 days enjoying spring and prepping for to have the best summer ever. I feel like spring is so often like an overlooked season. Like fall has Halloween and the beautiful leaves and the changing and Thanksgiving. Winter, obviously, Christmas really takes over. And then spring, it's like, well, I'm just waiting for summer. So we're really trying to be present and enjoy every moment with spring and then also help you prep to have the best summer and do the same thing with summer. So I'm really excited for it.
Which stick around because if you like this challenge, what we have coming next is like
This is just
unmatched.
the appetizer. Like this
This,
is
yes,
really
you
yet
have
to
not
begin.
eaten yet. Okay, well, let's start with getting outside. Just
Mhm.
so I live in northern New England, so it's like cold here a good portion of our year. And this winter was particularly gross. Like it didn't really snow. It would like snow and then it would rain, and it was just soggy and nasty out. Or stupid cold. So just the ability to go outside and enjoy 60, 70-degree weather is so nice. And we have a yard now, which is really exciting. Which did I tell you my lawn mowing story?
I knew what you were planning on doing. I don't know
You
if I knew
didn't
what
hear
actually
after?
happened. No.
Okay. DLL crew, you're gonna enjoy this. Friday afternoon, all day. I mean, I had told Sky about it. I was so excited. I was gonna mow our lawn, which is not like a huge thing. I used to mow lawns.
Something only Susan would get excited about.
I had a whole plan. Like I was like, I know what bathing suit top I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna get a drink and I'm just gonna enjoy being outside. Um, and so I waited for Chris, and Chris was like 45 minutes late coming home from work. And I was like, I can't wait anymore. Like the excitement is getting to me. I'm gonna go see if I can fire this thing up. So I go outside, I get it turned on. I'm so proud. And he had told me to put the blades at like 3.5. I'm like, cool. Like I figured it out. I was so proud. And my parents own a landscaping business. So I grew up mowing lawns, but on a very different type of lawn mower, like an industrial one. And this is just a lawn tractor. And it's my father-in-law. So I did not want to break it. Like I was like, I just need to mow the lawn. So Chris is really like, I don't know, I don't want to use the wrong word. He's very particular about how things are done. And everyone knows where we live that knows us. So people see our lawn,
Mhm.
and my great uncle lives next door, and he mows his lawn like meticulously. So like this is a big deal, in our
It's a
neighborhood.
small, it's if you don't live in a small town, this is gonna sound so ridiculous,
I
but it
know.
really is like small town. Like I remember even like our neighborhood, it was like if that there was one house that never mowed their lawn and it was like the talk of the neighborhood. It was like, why is their lawn always a mess? So I very much understand this dilemma.
Big.
Yes.
So I get on, I'm like, sweet. I start mowing the lawn, right? My lines are crisp. Like it looks great. I'm not driving all over the lawn. I made like pretty much a racetrack around the perimeter so that I like can come back down, make sure my lines are good. And I'm like, God, like it's not getting very short. Like my father-in-law's lawn tractor sucks. Like this is trash. So Chris comes home. I had like a very small section left, and I was like, "Do you want to just finish this up? I don't want to be like banging U's and making holes in the lawn. Like, can you just tidy it up?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he gets on and he pulls a lever, and I was like, "I didn't
Uh-oh.
do that. I didn't cut a blade of grass, Skye. I just made lines in the lawn and drove around on a tractor for 45 minutes, and I did not cut the grass at all.
I would pay so much to see that video of you like so happy just doing nothing.
Nothing, nothing. I had people honking at me. I knew who they were. I'm like waving. I have a twisted tea in one hand, and I'm just like, oh, and the speaker. I had our big block rocker in between my legs on the bottom of the tractor because I want to listen to music. Like, I'm not going to be
Of
out there
course.
mowing the lawn. Like it's going to be an event. Because I had main character energy and I had the
Mhm.
confidence to get out there and try. And Chris is laughing. He's like, it's really sweet. Like it's a thought that counts. You really did try.
You know
You spent
what?
45 minutes out there getting tan and looking
Mhm.
cute on the tractor, but like,
You
so
did nothing wrong. Like you didn't mess anything up and it was a learning experience, like, and you know what, Susan? Like you got that thing started. You got out there, like you were like, screw this, I'm doing this myself. And like if the one thing that you did wrong was not pulling a lever, try again next time. You know what? Like you didn't ruin the lawn, you didn't ruin the lawnmower. Like
that was
that's a
we're
great
telling this
story.
story because it's a funny story. Like it's good. So we're
Yes.
telling this to both our parents and his parents. Their first thing was, "Did you break the lawn tractor?"
Of
And then
course.
my parents, they're like, "Did she scalp the lawn?" I'm like, "How do you scalp a lawn?" And they're like, "No, you could like do some damage." I'm like, "Well, I left it extra long, but
Mhm.
my lines were good." Chris had perfect, like he just had to follow my lines and he was set. But it made me laugh so hard. But that was one of those things that I'm like, you know what? Like I could have been very distraught
Mhm.
over the fact
Mhm.
that I spent 45 minutes mowing my lawn when in fact I did not. But it's just hilarious. And I had a great time. Like I had the time of my life out there.
And honestly, like, yeah, you wanted to be a homeowner and mow your lawn and do that, but for you, it was this really, there's more meaning. There's a bigger meaning
There's
to
a
it.
lot of meaning
It
to
was
it.
all about the experience for you of being able to be out there and like you didn't really care if the lawn got cut. Like Chris can handle that part. Like you can go sit out there and look cute. So you still had a great time. And I think this is reminding me of my story with the parking lot when I got stuck and had to do because there's such a sense of like if you can like what is it like self humiliation like the self humility like to laugh at yourself like you said you're like it's a funny story like we're gonna tell people and it's like look at the confidence that you have to just be able to be like you know what I didn't cut a blade of grass and it's fine like it's hilarious it's like you could really beat yourself up for that even though like we're sitting here being like it is such a small thing but to someone or to us 2 years ago you'd be like oh my God I can't believe I screwed this up and whatever and it's like laugh it off. And I love the way you told that story because it shows so much growth. It's like, who
And
cares?
I think that's how I feel about it too. We went out to Mother's Day breakfast yesterday and like we were all together. We're in a rather small restaurant. There's a ton of people around and the 11 of us are just like wheezing. Like we're laughing so hard and we're being obnoxiously loud. Like we had some champagne and like we're just enjoying it. And everyone's like, but I'm laughing with them. Like no one
Yeah.
was laughing at me. Like it's funny. I'm someone who has my life so together and mowing lawns was my first job. Like you would think I'd remember to pull the freaking deck down, but nope. But you know what? I had the time of my life. I
Mhm.
had so much fun and really it was like a 2 for 1 because Chris got to enjoy the fun too.
Mhm.
Except he put me in so there's a wagon that like connects to it. I was like, Chris, just connect it. Like, let me ride in the back. We can do
Yeah.
it together. And he's like, no, Susan, like too many people we know are gonna see us. Like, I can't. So we drew the line there. But you know what? an experience. I now know how to, make sure that it's engaged and I'm actually going to cut the grass the next time. But there'll be another chance. The grass will always grow.
It's such the grass will always grow. Yes, it will, Susan. You can try again. But I love that story because I'm thinking about you've talked on the past couple episodes about how you can get in your head really easily. And when you get in the car, that's when you really start to like spiral and like think about like I should have done this way and like putting all that guilt on yourself. And this is a perfect situation of one of those things that you could be in the car being like, I can't believe I was so stupid not to pull the lever and do this wrong and like putting all that like self-hate on yourself. And I don't even know if I told you the story. I'll tell you it. It doesn't need to be shared today, but on my birthday, I had like a very funny interaction because of a cultural difference that I did not, I definitely told you the story actually.
Yes.
Um, like a cultural difference that I did not understand. And I was like, oh my God, like even 6 months ago, like I would have beat myself up over this for months. And I laughed it off and I
Mhm.
told everyone around me all night. I was like, listen to this story. And it was like, if you this actually is we've talked about this before, if you tell people how you're going to how you're reacting to a situation, that's how they're going to react too. Like if you say like I'm so stupid, I didn't know how to cut the grass, people are going to be like, that's kind of awkward, but
Yeah.
you're like, this is such a funny story, like I'm laughing, like you laugh with
Yeah.
me, then that's how I'm going to react, you know? So it's just a lesson in people are going to treat you the way you show them that you want to be treated. And
Yeah.
you showed me that you wanted me to laugh at the story, and that's exactly what I did.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's just one of those things that like you could, like you've said it already, but you can sit there and you can beat yourself up, or you can just take it for what it is. And
Hmm.
one of the things that I've been making a lot of content with this for like Instagram
Hmm.
is mindset. I mean, we talk about mindset a lot, but the way you see the world is how the world is going to treat you. And I've just been trying to put on my rose colored glasses. I think it's that time of year. I need to get those heart shaped glasses out again.
Hmm.
Um, but like that, it's how I saw that situation is exactly how, like you said, other people are going to see it and whatever. Like people were driving by, they probably knew that like I was not mowing the lawn. Like I'm sure one of them picked up on it. Like I know plenty of people that were like honking and waving. And it's like whatever. Like it is what it is.
It's the mindset is really everything, and I think starting the day with the right mindset is really the perfect way to kickstart your day. And this kind of goes back. I've been trying to start each day outside now that the weather is getting, and I have not been good about this because of the rain last week, but I need to get back into it. Even 5 minutes outside, even 2 minutes outside, like go like check your email standing outside or something, like however
Yeah.
much time you have, take the time to go outside because you like oh my God, the way the sunshine like literally lifts your mood and it is such a natural medicine. It really is. So that, especially with it being spring now and with it being warmer, starting my day outside is something that is already like changing my mindset.
This is physical proof that sunshine literally does you benefits. Remember back in January where I was like, I'm dyeing my hair. Do we remember that? I don't know if you can tell from way over there in Italy, but my hair's turning red again naturally from
I
the
was
sun.
gonna say, yep.
And it's a beautiful thing. Like my mom had said something. She's like, your hair looks really good. Like it looks red again. I'm like, yeah, because in the winter it turns pretty much brown.
Hmm.
And I was like, this is so nice. Like I'm kind of glad I didn't dye my hair because now I can actually get it light. And then that's even more reason to go outside and enjoy it.
Hmm.
Like it just that's a physical change that you can see that it's like, okay, like this is working.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think tan too, obviously. And oh my God, I'm like crazy about my sunscreen. Like we went for a 10-minute walk to like literally drop off the trash yesterday. And I was like, let me put my SPF on. But I know like people will say like you wear sunscreen and then you won't get tan. No, you will wear sunscreen and you will get tan and you will not burn. And I don't know, like someone let me know, or maybe I should just look it up myself. I think the sun here is stronger. And does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense because it's still in line. Honestly, I don't know. The sun feels stronger to me because it's May and like I sat outside, I guess it was 2 weekends ago now, and read for a little bit and I was like, oh my God, my chest is like red.
Mhm.
But yeah, SPF is important, and we talk about that in our spring challenge. But the sun, just like the little bit of sun kiss with the lighter hair, and Oh, there's nothing better than like sitting outside and then coming in and taking a shower and like seeing the tan lines and seeing your hair lighten when it's wet, because you can tell like it's gotten lighter. Oh, see, these are the things we have to look forward to. We've made it through
Yep.
winter.
Yep, 100%. If you guys don't know this, my husband and I are both gingers. Well, he says he's not a ginger, but he has a ginger beard, so I
He
would
says
consider
he's not
that
a
a ginger.
ginger?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not a ginger. I'm like, your beard is ginger, dude. He's like, well, my hair is dirty blonde. It's a fight we have annually, but he burns worse than I do, which is proof he's a ginger. So we've gone through 2 bottles of sunscreen already.
Good.
Because we are really trying to not get burned. Chris, it doesn't matter. Like we could, dump that boy in a bucket of sunscreen and he's still gonna come home bright red. But it is. And you feel so much better not being burned.
Mhm.
Like I don't like to touch lotion. I don't know if you know this about me. I know you probably do, but the DLL crew, I don't do lotion like at all. I haven't ever. They got to a point where I just wear like rubber gloves because my like elbows were so dry in the winter. I just couldn't. I can't. So the spray sunscreen is the route that we go. I can moisturize my face in the morning, but that's pretty much all that I tolerate.
Interesting. So you don't like after the shower, do you moisturize? Like,
Against my will, yes, because
okay.
I want like soft legs, but
You should look, they have
I don't enjoy it.
spray lotion. Like the same as spray sunscreen, they have like
Well, then I
spray
definitely
lotion.
need that. I
Yeah.
definitely that would be life changing.
Or like a body oil. How do you feel about oils?
That's okay. I don't like. I guess I know that lotion is not dirty, but I
Yes.
don't like dirty hands and dirty feet. Like
I
dirt, no. I don't. The beach.
Mhm.
I like it when I'm in the water, but like sand sticking to my feet. Ugh, I don't. I don't. I
My
wear sneakers.
brother, he's such an anti-beach kid. And it's so funny because I think of the two of us, you'd expect me to be like that too. Like, oh my God, sand. But there's something about it's like when you're at the beach, like everything can have sand in it. Like it's fine. I'm like, we'll deal with it later. But I know,
No.
and that's coming from me. That's like such a shocking thing to hear.
Yes.
But yeah, you and Lucas are the anti-beach people.
Yeah. He has good priorities.
Yeah, he
I want
does.
to be dirty all the time. I have no segue for this, but let's get into like spring eats. Um,
I was about to say one of my
uh,
other favorite things is spring recipes. I swear.
I can see it on your face. If you're watching the video version of this, then you got it. So my like number one on all of these was salad with steak. I swear. In
Mm.
another life, I was probably like a T-Rex, like just a red meat eater. Which is funny because dinosaurs scare me. But I love there's nothing better than a salad with steak and goat cheese.
Ooh.
So good.
I'm more of a shrimp person with like a salad. Like I'm picturing that exact salad, but with like a grilled shrimp.
Yep.
I've never been a red meat person, and the living here, I think honestly it's because of Nick. I try to feed him other things than just like chicken and shrimp, which is what I would.
Yep.
I honestly would eat more vegetarian and like and fish, but with
Yep.
him being an athlete, obviously I've branched out a little, and I am enjoying red meat more than I used to. So maybe I'll try that, especially this summer. That sounds kind of like with like a strawberry goat cheese salad or
Yes,
something.
exactly. Yep. No, red meat like my whole life. When I was in high school and I was an athlete, like more, I consider myself a gym goer, not an athlete now. But back then I would literally eat like a at least a 1 pound steak by myself
Oh my
every like
God.
pretty much every night, if not every other night.
Good
Like
for you.
I crave it. Like you know how like when you're PMSing and you like crave
Yeah.
chocolate, my mouth waters for red meat. I don't know. It's weird, but I love
Interesting.
it. Chris got a Ninja. So we have the Ninja Foodie, which is the pressure cooker air fryer. Amazing, life changing. He just got the Ninja. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's like a conventional oven. It's like this big,
Like an
and that's what yes. And we've been air frying our steaks. Just put like like oil and Montreal seasoning on it, and then we air fry them, and they
Ooh,
come out perfect because they cook to temp. So you stick a thermometer in the meat and then while it cooks it stops once it gets to the targeted temperature. It's
what?
like back to the future. It is so cool. But our meat comes out
Awesome. And
so
that's
good.
all like, did you buy the thermometer separate or like all comes
Oh,
together?
he actually Chris is like a Facebook marketplace tycoon. Like he's ridiculous. But he got it for $100. I think they're usually $200 or $300. You got
Yeah.
the whole thing for $100. And it's so good. So good, but it's worth the investment. Like I would have paid $500 for it because it makes my life so easy. I can cook. We've also done pork roasts in it this
Yeah.
last couple weeks, and it takes like 20 minutes maybe, and I don't have to deal with like starting the grill and not catching the house on fire. I can just set it up on the counter, and then when I'm done, I just put it back under the counter. It's so nice.
That's amazing. Speaking of the Ninja products, have you seen all the TikToks about the Ninja Creamy?
Yes, I have. And I've reluctantly kept Chris away because we don't have that much cabinet space to store it.
That
Uh,
thing looks so cool.
it
And if
does.
you're not familiar with this, like I don't even know why, like this has become like my TikTok feed is Taylor Swift and the Ninja Creamy, but people are making basically like the one thing I keep seeing is like protein ice cream with
Yep.
the Ninja Creamy. Like, can you imagine coming back from the gym and eating ice cream? Like, I do that sometimes anyways, but there's no protein in it. Like, so this sounds fantastic, but
It
uh,
really just looks like a McFlurry
it
maker. Like
does.
that's
Yes.
what the energy is giving. McFlurry in their ice cream machine is not broken, which is like a, nothing shy of a miracle at McDonald's. But
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of a segue, but not really. But I've been on such like a gelato kick, and I think it's because of the weather, and I'm fine with it because all winter I feel like we don't, no one, it's just not a thing, like because it's cold, like you want like pie and like warm desserts like that. So I've been enjoying this actually combines two things. We go for like a nice walk and then go get like we did a milkshake last week or gelato, like little things like that. But it's like you're going for a walk, you're getting exercise, you're outside, you're in a good mood, and then you get a nice little treat, and it's perfect. And it's a
yeah,
nice way to like, I don't know, enjoy the weather because it's not something you do when it's not. So it's like romanticize that moment when you can because we only have a few months where we're able to do that.
yeah, absolutely. My go-to dessert right now, oatmeal raisin cookies. I don't know what it is. I think Shaw's puts crack in it. It is so addictive. I need at least like if I don't get my two in a day, then I'm like upset about it. And I don't know what it is. And I've never been like oatmeal raisin has not
Yeah,
been my cookie of choice my entire life, but
no one's
something
cookie of
changed with me.
choice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very good.
They are. Do you remember in the dining hall at UNH, they would always have the cookies like on the way out? And they had oatmeal raisin, and I actually used to grab for them more than I would grab for the other ones because they were warm. A warm oatmeal raisin cookie is unbeatable.
It really is unmatched. I could not agree more. Remember at UNH there it was in the dining hall, but it wasn't. It was that little like
Yes.
grocery store thing or whatever. Their steak Caesar salads were so
Yes.
good. I miss them so
Mhm.
much.
I was
I
actually
can't
talking
create
to
it.
Nick about those the other day because we used to do this together because I would get the chicken Caesar wrap and you would get the steak, and they were so good. I don't know, the dressing, I feel like Caesar, the dressing is really like the most
Yes,
important part. It
hit
was
or
a
miss,
good Caesar
100%.
dressing. Yeah.
They were so
Right.
good. And they'd
I've been
make them right in
eating
front of you.
Yeah, they did. I've been eating a lot of Caesar salads, I think, again, with the weather, like enjoying more like fresh ingredients and lighter and um colder foods, whatever. But I don't like croutons. I love a Caesar salad, but I can't deal with like soft lettuce and then like crunchy. It doesn't work for me.
Have you tried
So
making your own?
yeah, I think it doesn't work. But what does work is toasted breadcrumbs because I
Oh,
get the crunch, but it's mixed in and it's not
yep,
like a bite that's gonna like break my tooth. Because so
yep.
it, I
No,
highly
that makes sense. My favorite part of the crouton bag is like the crumbs at the end. So
there you
that
go.
totally checks out. I
Hmm.
think I'm gonna start grinding up my croutons.
Yeah, do it.
That's
Yeah,
genius. That's what we're doing for lunch today. It's decided.
let me know how you like it because I like the consistency because it like mixes into the dressing and I don't know. I think it's
Yeah,
delicious. But
no, that totally makes sense. Next thing is reading, but on my Kindle.
hmm,
Springtime, I don't want a book. Like
yep,
I want to be able to go outside and come back in, and it can get a little wet. It can get a little dusty. And I love that it adjusts to the light.
mhm.
Love it.
That was I remember when I got my Kindle or I was considering getting a Kindle, I was like, I need to be able to read in the sun. Like, it's not going to work for me. I think reading on my Kindle is easier in the sun than a book, even. Like, I actually, I'll switch mine because the white pages of a book, the way that makes it kind of hard to read because not hard when you're in the moment, but then the second you look up, it's like your eyes have to adjust because it's been like white on this sunny paper, whatever. Trying to explain that. But I switch my Kindle in the summer and I have black with white letters. And that makes it so easy to see. And then, like you said, like the paper white, or I think all Kindles now are at least water resistant. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry. And the battery too. Like if you throw that thing in your beach bag, the battery lasts for days. Like I
Hey.
think I charge my Kindle once a week, maybe.
Yep.
I love the
Yep.
I really, really do. And you can read, this is another thing too. Like if you're tanning and you want to tan like on your side or on your back or whatever, it's just one thing versus like a book that you have to open and Kindle.
And the wind. Wind is not a factor with the Kindle because they should probably sponsor us because we really plug them like every episode,
Like I obsess about my Kindle.
literally. We already have the Kindle, so we would like free books, please.
I know. I actually, my mom surprised me and she gifted me Kindle Unlimited, which I had. I think we all get it when you buy your Kindle. It comes
Yeah,
with
for
like
the first
30 days or
year.
something. But she was like, I know like you've been so into your Kindle and let me know how you like this. But Kindle Unlimited is a really cool feature. I didn't realize how many books are included in that. So
Yeah.
if you're like looking to start a new reading goal, honestly, Kindle Unlimited might be a great little like
Yeah.
motivation to start reading more because you're putting the money in, but then all the books are free. So you can really like rack up how many books you're reading with one cost.
Yeah. I love that. Should we get into favorites?
Yes, I feel like this whole episode was spring favorites.
Favorites?
So
Yeah.
it's perfect.
You can start, or do you want me to start?
I will begin. I think I said this phrase to a friend. I was texting her last week about just like life updates and I said I was like this is happening and this is happening and this is happening, but it's fine because I know that it's all in my favor. And I kind of stopped myself. I was like that phrase because it was like I was complaining or I was just like talking about like hard things that were going on, but I was like, but I know it's all in my favor. And I was like, that the fact that I'm able to like even say that phrase when talking about things that are going wrong, it's like, but I still know that it's all in my favor. That was like mind blown for me. And I even I wrote a note that just says it's all in my favor with like little emojis that like connect to the phrase for me. And it's pinned in my notes app now. So every time I open my notes, I see it. So that's my mantra of the week.
That. My mantra is actually not a mantra, it's a word, and it's consistency, which is my word
Yeah.
from January, my word of the year. But it just really like manifested itself in my day-to-day life lately. And I have a different project that is coming soon-ish. And it had you'll get this. It's number 10. Those who get it, get it. If you don't, you don't. But it's 10 and I had a dream about it and it was like consistency. Like that's the name. So do what you will with that, but it's just a good reminder.
I need you to explain this to me after the fact because
I can't wait till we see what we're done.
I do have to give you props because you have been so consistent with like the social medias. I'm like every time I log on, I'm like Susan is killing it. Like everything looks so good. It's just like yeah, because it's ironic that you decided that your word this week was consistency because I was like, look at her go. So, yes,
I
you
think
feel that way and I also am agreeing with you.
and if you guys noticed, but we did switch roles in the company and I think that has made for me it has made a life changing difference.
And
And
change. It's kind of, it was, I think it was a change that we wouldn't have necessarily done without
needed it.
outside factors impacting. And I think it was really the change we both needed. So we kind
Yes.
of like took the opportunity to listen and be like, all right,
Which
let's do
honestly, we should do a whole episode on that from
it.
3 weeks ago because
Yeah. Mhm,
that we learned so much.
mhm. I agree.
I think it'd be so good.
Yeah.
Um, what's your favorite
My
favorite?
favorite of the week. This was hard not to talk about earlier because it goes in perfectly with spring, but I am such a spicy marg person and they're not a thing here. I can get margaritas some places, but like going to a restaurant and getting a spicy margarita is just not, it's not very Italian, which is fine. And tequila is a lot harder to come by, but I finally found a tequila that was like the other thing was like they're gonna be like 60 to 70 bucks for any tequila. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But I found a like good, super originally priced one and I made spicy margs on Friday and it was like, that's the taste of summer. Like it was like the jalapeno and the tequila, and I did fresh squeezed orange juice, which really just takes margarita to a next level. So Yeah, that is definitely my favorite from this week.
This is actually so funny that you chose that because my favorite is also a drink of the week. And it's the Boozy Susie. We had it at my wedding. I don't, what's the actual name for it? I don't know. I've called it the
Is
Boozy
it a
Susie.
Bahama Mama?
Yeah. Yep, it is. So it's, oh, what do we have? Captain rum, Malibu rum. What else is in that? Oh,
Pineapple.
banana cream dill banana something. It's a liquor, or a liqueur, and then grenadine, pineapple juice, and orange juice. Chef's kiss. That's my summer drink because I like sweet and
Yeah.
fruity, and you're like, I feel like you have a grown up palate, and I still have like a teenager's palate. Like I don't want to taste the alcohol. I want it to taste like juice.
Hmm. Nothing wrong with that. I know. I feel like you're like the sweet and like I'm like a
A
dirty
little
martini
salty.
would be my drink of choice. Like the
Yeah.
salty. Yeah, I know.
Nope, absolutely not. You have to stick it in an IV for me to get it that way.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like I think spring and summer, even if you want them to be non-alcoholic, like the alcohol honestly has very little to do with it, but just sipping a fun beverage is so much fun in the summer.
I have TikToks of me drinking orange juice with grenadine
Oh
because
yeah.
it just cool colors and it's a little extra and it tastes kind of like a Swedish fish, which I like, but
Yeah, no, it's just fun to have something that's different than a water,
this is
honestly.
a fun episode. I love this. So you guys know the drill. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you want to hear about next week. And we'll be back next Wednesday.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.